This is probably the silliest thing we've ever done, Doug.
I don't think so. I think it's high up there,
What
though.
was that all about?
I don't know.
Oh, I have cracked a nail.
Oh.
Not sure. I think I left it in your sweater.
Oh.
Ow. Oh. No, it's all right. Okay. Hey, welcome to Cookin' Cheap. I'm Larry Bly.
I'm Doug Patterson.
And this is Cookin' Cheap.
Is it?
I said that again, didn't I?
Well,
anyway.
pays to have
I don't know
guys.
what you're doing, but I have like 7 acres of stuff.
So do I.
And it looks like you do too.
I know. And we don't even know what we're doing yet.
And we don't even know what we're doing, and we won't know, furthermore, until the kitchen witch comes in. And I expect it. Oh, she's coming in any minute.
They got real huffy about that,
It was
didn't
just a little rough, I thought, on the edges that time,
There you
didn't you?
See ya.
You know, next time Andre, you got to come to the rehearsals, okay?
The witch rehearsal.
Witch rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
witch
remember
rehearsal. Witch rehearsal. Dear D and L. That's Doug, Doris, and Lair.
Oh.
For those of you that don't know. When are you guys going to start doing your shows in that newfangled high-definition television? That's enough. Ma and me just got indoor plumbing last week, but we keep up on that television technology curve. Boy.
Water.
And you guys are behind the times. Ma and me are looking for some good cake recipes. What are you laughing about? I'm just real tired of that old Sally Lund deal she does all the time. Sally Lund.
I remember her. Oh, no. I love Sally Lund.
Wasn't there a Sally Lund cake?
I thought that was Sally Rand with the face.
Oh, maybe. No, Sally Rand did. Sally Lund made cakes. I hope so. If not, I'm in big trouble. I don't know who Sally Lund is. I put her in here. So, well, anyway, I'm just real tired of that old Sally Lund deal she does all the time. Well, maybe it isn't a cake. I don't know. Help me with some ideas. Ma and Pa McGillicuddy. Ruddy Road, Milwaukee. Are we going to get through this? What is wrong with us?
Oh, my golly.
Cakes, as a matter of fact.
Are you?
I'm going to do a potato cake, and I know what you think. You think that's one of those things that you put onions and an egg in and you fry it on top of the stove? Wrong.
No?
We're talking a real cake made with potatoes.
Okay.
Which brings to mind why.
What?
Why?
I have no idea.
Why?
Why potato cake?
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Anyway, what do you make? Oh, it was sent in by K. Johns. You used to use them with all the festivals.
Well, we're going to use it
from New
twice
Jersey.
because she sent mine in, too. Or he, Mr. K, Miss K, whoever you are. I'm doing an apricot cream cake.
Thank heaven somebody got it. You're just too serious.
Have I had an aneurysm or something?
What are you having, Doris? I mean, what are you doing, Doris? What's Doris doing?
Who knows?
Delaware Raisin Cake. What did Delaware? Sent in
Brand New Jersey.
That's right.
Beep, beep.
There we go. Sent in by Anita Shields of Princeton, West Virginia.
Well, you go.
That's that high-definition television getting over there.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I'm going to do a potato cake, and I'll just start out real quick. I'll throw it over to you, and you can just do whatever you want to. Take 2 sticks of butter or margarine, and I just want you to see this, ladies and gentlemen, this ancient piece of technology that we have dug out
It's old as
from
you
the
are.
back room, because Doris, I thought, was going to bring her great big fancy schmancy. What's that thing you got? What is it, big?
That KitchenAid.
KitchenAid. That kitchen witch aid. That big machine, but she didn't bring it today because she's by
concert that
herself.
we have to do.
Kitchen witch aid. So anyway, we dug out this horrible old mess.
Oh.
Look at that.
Well,
And
you know, you could get a lot of money for that.
it's a food
somewhere.
fixer.
You could.
That's what it says. Take 2 pre-softened. Boy, it has a good ring to it. Butters or margarines or whatever. I'm using a little combination of mutter and margarine. I can't talk today. And 2 things of sugar. And what you're going to do, 2 cups. Things is cups. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to beat this for a fare thee well until it gets light and fluffy. Believe me, if anything gets light and fluffy in this piece of machinery, it'll be like, oh boy, look at that getting light and fluffy.
Working like a charm. Oh, there it goes.
There we go. Okay, go on ahead, Doug. You can.
Oh, great. I get to chat real loud now, don't I? Hello.
You get back a little bit, it's not so loud.
Oh,
We'll try to
okay.
find something to cover it with.
I'm going to make this apricot cream cake, and it does take forever, so last night I started it. You take a box of super moist yellow cake mix and do it in the instructions O on the back O box. And you just have that, and you have put it in 2 9-inch. I'm going to kill him somewhere along the line today. And there you have it. Now, isn't it lovely? It's lovely.
Looks a little flatter on one side than it
Yes,
does on
so
the
do
other.
you in about 3 minutes.
What happened, Doug?
And now, nothing.
Now,
It
you
was
weren't
fabulous.
dancing in the kitchen again, were you?
I was. Look
Oh,
at this.
that's oh.
Now we have to split the layers. Oh, thank you so much. And you take a little dental floss. And
Are
we're-
you kidding me?
And we're going to...
You're going to do it with dental floss?
Well, sure. Why not?
Now, this I've never seen before.
Well, Aunt Doris told me to do this.
Dental floss.
Dental floss. Cuts.
Oh, yeah, it's working
Yeah,
real
it's working
good.
real good, Doris. Oh, well. Meanwhile, back at the knife routine.
Dental floss.
And cut, cut, cut. Cut, 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 cut. Cut, cut, cut.
Ah.
And when you cut your layers, what you're going to do, ladies and germs, you pick the... Oh, that does look pretty, though, doesn't it?
Ooh, it's beautiful inside.
And
Is
now-
it just a plain old yellow cake?
Plain, super moist.
Super moist.
Super moist. And now you're going to take some apricot preserves. Ooh, yum. And you just layer some of that baby on there. What do you think, Lair? So far, so good?
Oh, that looks great. That looks
Of
great.
course, I have a lot of dental floss.
Doug,
in
don't
it
change
right
a
now.
thing. It looks fabulous.
Thank you. And now just spread a layer on. Larry, you want to go ahead? Because I'm going to be doing this with these layers.
Well, now, here in the wonderful Mixmeister, we have got the light and fluffy going in here. Well, that's what it says. And so now we're going to turn it back on. I'm sorry, hold your ears.
That's okay. I'm just going to be
And we're
putting
going
this
to-
apricot preserve on.
We're going to add 2 eggs, one at a time. Oh, that's terrible. I added the second one first. Anyway, that goes in there. And get that mixed in. This is the sugar and butter or margarine mixture. And you got to work that first egg in before you put the second one in. I don't know why. This thing is just sliding all over the place.
Well, aren't we all?
And
We've
now
been
it's turned
sliding on this
into a
show
big
for
dough.
years now.
Okay, that's egg number 1. And then egg number 2 goes right in there also, and mix that in pretty good too. You want to get the egg mixed throughout the mixture, the light and fluffy mixture.
Remember
And as you
that
can see, it's getting lighter and flubblier. What is wrong with me?
Ladies
I
and
speak for
gentlemen,
a
he
living.
earns his living in advertising.
I speak for a living. Today I went into little Anthony and the Imperials restaurant, that famous Anthony and the Imperials,
Yep.
and the girl couldn't understand a word I said.
Well, I can understand
I had
that.
to repeat myself, so, and finally I got a little bit indignant, not much, just a little. I says, I talk for a living. And she said, huh?
Obviously, she does not.
So anyway, okay, now, blend in the potatoes and the vanilla. Now what I did was, these are the potatoes. These are day-old potatoes.
Day-old?
Going on day number 3, I might. I mixed these up on Saturday. Made just some plain old mashed potatoes. I had some spuds left over. And they really are light and fluffy. I didn't put any salt in them. I just made them with just their natural juice and no salt, just regular old mashed potatoes. Why do you suppose you would put mashed potatoes in a cake? Anybody know?
Do we care?
We don't know. So anyway, a cup of cold mashed taters. Now, give or take a couple of lumps.
We've all been taking our lumps.
All right, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Put that in there and mix that in. Also the vanilla at this point, and the vanilla is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Teaspoon. Quarter of a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. Okay, that goes in next. And this is an interesting cake in that it does not have anything to make it rise. Because it has all-purpose flour.
You just
and
can't
it
get a
has-
rise out of it. Okay, I'll shut up.
So, mix that in there. See, I just don't understand it. But it's a sheet cake, therefore it doesn't really matter too much if it rises or not. Excuse me, it keeps sliding. Well, you know, for a piece of ancient technology, it's hanging in there pretty good. Now, what you got to do at this point is make sure that your mashed potatoes get incorporated very thoroughly with the sugar and the margarine, and And in a little bit, we're going to add some flour. This just goes on forever. But it's a pretty cake when you get finished with it. I don't know what it tastes like because I haven't eaten any of it. But anyway, that's enough of that. All right, enough of that. Now you can take these home for Doggy.
For who?
Doggy.
Okay.
All right, now do you need to do something anytime? What?
Larry, I swear.
I want to turn this around.
I had an accident.
Get
Get your hands off my cake.
It looks like Aunt Fanny's hat after someone sat on it. But I'm sure it's real pretty.
This is why we put frosting on cakes, Larry, to hide the infirmity.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have to pile some on there to level that out.
With my bowl.
Now, I have some all-purpose flour. This is really the messy part. I just hate this part. And you're going to add the all-purpose flour, and it's going to go everywhere. But what can you do? Just a little at a time. Just a tiny little bit. 2 cups, all-purpose, not self-rising. You would think that it would call for self-rising, but no. And this is all-purpose.
Oh,
listen to this thing squeak. Doris, would you get that oil? I hope this thing makes it. Huh? What? I hope this makes it. It's not sounding too good. Okay, we got to keep mixing that around pretty good now.
okay. Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You take a package of instant pudding pie filling vanilla, put that in a bowl, and add 3/4 of a cup of milk to it. And we're going to whip, 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 whip until who laid the rail. And so that's what I'll be doing. Oops, sorry.
All right, I have to add a cup of milk at this point. And that'll probably go everywhere, and I don't care. I'm beyond despair at this point. Oh, that's going along pretty good. And cocoa.
Who?
I don't want to forget to put my cocoa in there.
Imogene?
Because it is sort of a chocolatey kind of a cake.
No.
Cocoa. Enough of that. I've just got too much stuff here.
La, 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 la.
Too much stuff to keep up. So now you need to add 1/4 of a cup of baking cocoa. Cocoa, 1/4 cup. And the very lovely Doris has seen to it that I have the 1/4 cup right here.
Boy,
That goes
must be
in
nice
there.
to get help.
Well, you can get help too, you know. In fact,
know.
I would suggest you should.
That's what.
I'm just kidding you. I'm just joshing with you. Okay. Now, have I got everything in there except the walnuts, which get added later on? We got milk, we got the cocoa, the all-purpose flour, the extract potatoes, 2 eggs, sugar. Okay, let's go. Oh, boy, that's looking good now.
You're just making a big old mess over there.
You can't make a cake without making a mess.
Oh. Well, fine.
Oh, it's going wacko on me.
Oh, my God.
It's got no
Catch
way
it.
from It's crazy. Oh, it's just getting worse all the time. Doris, where's that WD-40 when you need it?
La, 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 la.
I'm almost finished up. Hang on a second. Now look at this. Look, I just want you to see this. Isn't that pretty?
I've seen enough.
See that?
Oh, it
it
is?
doesn't open that way. It opens this way.
You're asking for it. Oh, you're going to be wearing that. Oh,
now,
you did.
I think that this
Congratulations.
is very lovely. Take a look at that.
It is. Well, it is.
And I don't know what the mashed
It
potatoes
is.
do to it, but it has a lovely consistent smell.
Well, that's nice.
Okay, while I'm figuring out how to get this thing apart.
Can I finish off now?
Oh, you go right ahead. Take your time,
Well,
Douglas.
thank you.
Take your
Thank
time.
you.
Take the rest of the show. Take the week off.
Thank you. I will. You have your lovely vanilla pudding.
Oh, I just
Pie
did
filling.
something I shouldn't have done.
What'd you do?
I had batter on my fingers and I licked my fingers. Do you know that a friend of mine actually got sick from the raw eggs in batter?
Really?
Not a good idea.
Oops.
Shouldn't have done that.
Oh, well.
Do what?
Me too.
I know you're always licking.
I thought that was part of the game.
Well,
No. In this
Go ahead.
bowl, I have approximately 3 cups of whipped topping. Now, you can use real live whipped cream if you want to, but I'm too lazy today, and thank goodness I let, you know. Now, we're going to fold in fold in the vanilla pudding.
What a mess.
Isn't this wild?
Huh? Oh, are you still on?
I am. And I'm going to be folding that lovely little mess together.
Now, what is that, vanilla pudding?
It's vanilla pudding and whipped topping.
Well, it looks a little bit like lemon pudding to me.
Well, it says vanilla.
It's unnaturally yellow, don't you think?
Well, I don't care.
Perhaps we just need to have engineering come in and adjust
Well, look, see, now it's going to turn a lovely shade of off-white. Does that make you happy now?
Okay. Huh? Are you still here?
I am, and I'm making up my frosting, and now I'm going to start to put it on to hide the many sins of this cake.
Well, I'm going to tell you it would take a slab to hide the many sins of that cake. But you know what? It's a good cake. Well, it's just so lopsided.
Isn't this like
you
Alfred
sure
Hitchcock's anniversary?
Are you sure? Rink, 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 rink. Are you sure that you didn't sit on it on the way over here in the car?
Well, no, I didn't. I have to admit, I did something wrong last night.
What'd you do?
I made this cake. That was...
You were dancing. You were doing choreography.
I know
how you showbiz people are.
I was watching one of those TV televised musicals, and I was singing along.
Ah. Now, you have to take some plain old walnuts. Oh, actually, these are the real thing. These were done at home, not by me, by somebody else. And you need about a cup of chopped walnuts. And these are black walnuts, which I prefer to cook with. And just keep them right in the old zipper bag. And just bust them up in there a little bit. And then we'll just add those now to this mess. I'm not going to give you all of them because they're mine.
Oh.
I keep them in the fridge. I keep them in the freezer so that I always have them.
I do that with pecans.
I buy them
pecans.
from a little old guy down on the corner. Now, here we just fold that right in. And the next thing that you're going to do now is take just a standard, what is this? This is a standard something or the other. 5 by 13 by 2, she says. And just spray a little of this on it, a little WD-40, so it'll slip right out of there. And you will then put this in and spread it evenly across the bottom. This is very, very pretty.
Oh. A disaster.
We're getting there. It doesn't have to, and it's a sheet cake, so I just keep it right in there. That's what I'd do if I were you. And then you don't have to mess with it. And spread around, spread around, spread around, spread around. Now, and you put that in the oven at 350 degrees, 45 minutes or so until it's springy.
Till when?
And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out here in a couple of minutes. Doug, can you finish up?
I'm just having fun over here.
Oh, okay. Let's bring Doris in.
Who?
Doris.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Doris. How are you?
Just fine. I'm not on you again today, let me tell you.
Perhaps it wasn't such a funny thing after all. What do you got here for us?
I had to make what they call Delaware Raisin Cake. And it took 1 box of raisins, 3 cups of cold water divided, 1½ cups of chopped peeled apples, 1 stick of margarine, 2 cups of sugar, ½ a teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon nutmeg, ½ a teaspoon ground cloves, 1 teaspoon baking soda dissolved in a little water, and 4 cups all-purpose flour.
It is a gorgeous cake.
Really, you take the raisins and your 2 cups of apples and cook them for 10 minutes and let it cool. It said let it cool. It didn't tell you how long to let it cool. But and then you melt your butter and stuff in it. It doesn't have, like you say, I guess the baking soda helps it to rise because there's no eggs or anything in that cake. And look how pretty it turned out. And I think that it's going to be sort of a heavy cake, like a
It does
fruit.
seem rather porous,
I think it's going to be like more like a fruit cake.
Ooh, look at that. That is.
And I think it's going to be, you know, more.
It's more like an applesauce cake.
Yeah, or a fruit type cake.
Yeah, very nice.
But
thank you.
Oh.
My potato cake calls for a cup of butter or margarine softened, 2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, a cup of cold mashed potatoes, teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of baking cocoa, 1 cup of milk, and a cup of chopped walnuts. Mr. Douglas is going to give us his recipe.
No, I'm not.
He's not going to give us his recipe. So while he's doing something he's back here diddling around. I need a spatula, something. I'll just use this. That's okay. Now what you can do after, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. It's right pretty. Seems also like Doris's, it seems a little on the heavy side. And you can take icing of your choice and spread it on top. You don't have to, but I just have a little vanilla icing, and I'm going to smear that on there. What do you got, Doug?
I have frosted this wonderful cake.
Look at that. That is so
And now
pretty.
we're doing some decorazione.
Have you given your recipe?
No, I will give it now. 1 package super moist yellow cake mix. 1 jar 18 ounces apricot preserves divided. 1 1/2 cups of whipping cream or 3 cups of frozen whipped topping. 1 package vanilla instant pudding and pie filling. Make it the 4 serving size. 3/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of flaked coconut, and some apricot halves.
Isn't that beautiful? That really is. That's a pretty cake, Doug.
Well, thank you.
A little cockeyed, but pretty. It is. Well, let's go over and give this the old college try. What do you say?
Well, if you must, we must.
Well, I think we probably should. We've made all these cakes. We ought to at least have an opportunity to try one of them, I suppose. We have lots of stuff to... oh, so you've got some more stuff
I'm
to go
just going to drizzle some
Oh, look at
glacé.
this.
You've reserved some of the...
Ooh, that is so pretty. That really is absolutely gorgeous.
And then you just sit down. I'm going to dribble some on there because I just know it's going to be good for you.
He's a dribbling boy.
And there we go.
There you are.
Is that the prettiest thing you ever
No,
saw?
I'll tell you, that is a pretty
I'm sorry I got lopsided on you.
I
but-
know that I've besmirched the good name of your cake, but
Yeah, well,
you have
story of
pulled through at the end of it.
thank you. Oops.
In beautiful
I'm
style.
going to take a big dive on this cord.
And now I'll just stand here holding this until the show ends. And
La 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 la.
all right.
Oh, did I put the good side out? Yeah.
Put the good side out, he says. This cake is pretty, but it just seems like it's leaden. It just seems like it might be a little tad bit on the heavy side. But I don't know. And a tad bit on the dry side, I believe. Oh, that is so pretty. Now, you know they're good when you can't get them out of there, right?
Yep.
Well, this has an interesting consistency, and it has an interesting...
Throw me your plate, would you, babe?
There you go. Oh, you much too modest size on the cake. Good heavens. That would feed a family of 6.
I've seen you eat.
Here, have that.
Thank you.
And I'll have one of these too.
I'm glad.
Oh, boy.
It's just a big
Good thing we
mess.
like cakes. I could stop licking my fingers
I
long
know, I
enough
just
to do
did the
this.
same thing. You know that
Well,
lady?
obviously, I'm going to go straight for yours because that just looks fabulous. That is a splendid cake.
And yours is quite the spiffy one as well.
Is it really?
That is
It looks a
real-
little dry to me.
But it's really interesting. I don't think I've ever had a cake like this before.
You know what?
It's really good.
Slap some gravy on this cake.
Put a steak next to it. You got it made.
Mashed potatoes and cake.
Yeah, what else could a person ask for?
Who could ask for more? Well, I want to give... You're right. This is a swell little
And Doris.
recipe.
Yum, Doris.
It looks like something for Christmas. It's an applesauce cake. That's what it tastes like. And it's lots of...
Oh, and it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful,
and
wonderful.
we were afraid it was going to be very, very, well, tough and rubbery, I don't think came to mind, but we were afraid that it was going to be a little firm. But turns out it's quite light and fluffy.
Again, with the fluff.
It's the word for the day.
Does a duck come down? We get $100.
The word is fluffy. Well, it's all great. Give it a try.
I'm sorry I screwed up.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Okay.
It was great. Next time, don't sit on it on the way over here, okay?
Fine.
Have a good day. Goodbye.
See ya.